Listen carefully, because what I am about to say may be the very message your spirit has been waiting to hear. Something unusual is moving around your life right now. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but deep inside, your soul can feel the shift. God is arranging a surprise that will interrupt your pain, silence your fear, and change the direction of your future. This is not an ordinary season. This is not a random moment in your life. Heaven is preparing an encounter for you that will carry divine timing, divine favor, and divine power. Someone is booking a divine moment with you. And when it arrives, nothing about your life will remain the same again. You have cried in secret. You have questioned your purpose. You have stared at closed doors, wondering why your prayers seemed delayed, while others walked into blessings so easily. But what if I told you that the delay was never denial? What if I told you that God was protecting your future while preparing your appointed moment? Because some blessings cannot arrive casually. Some miracles cannot enter your life without preparation. There are seasons where God hides you because what is coming is too precious to be exposed too early. And many people think silence means rejection, but silence can also mean construction. While you were worrying, heaven was working. While you were doubting yourself, God was arranging people, opportunities, conversations, and divine timings that your human eyes could not yet see. There is a reason your spirit has been restless lately. There is a reason your heart refuses to settle into hopelessness, even after all the disappointments you faced. God has been sending signals to your spirit that a change is near. Something powerful is approaching your life. You are standing closer to your breakthrough than you realize. The atmosphere around your destiny is shifting, and even though the natural world may still look the same, the spiritual world is already moving in your favor. Some of you listening right now have been carrying invisible battles for a very long time. You smile in front of people while secretly fighting fear, anxiety, discouragement, and emotional exhaustion. You kept showing up even when your heart was tired. You kept praying even when answers seemed delayed. You kept believing even when circumstances gave you every reason to quit. And God sees every silent battle you fought. Heaven has not ignored your tears. Every painful night, every hidden struggle, every lonely prayer has been recorded before God. The world teaches people to trust only what they can see. But God moves in unseen places first. Before a miracle becomes visible, it already exists in motion. Before a door opens publicly, God has already unlocked it spiritually. That is why you cannot judge your future based on your current circumstances. Your present condition is temporary, but the promise God placed over your life is permanent. There are moments in life when everything suddenly changes without warning. One phone call can change your future. One unexpected connection can open doors no human effort could open. One divine appointment can heal years of pain. One moment of favor can reverse seasons of struggle. And I believe with all my heart that many of you are approaching such a moment right now. Someone is booking a divine moment with you. God is arranging conversations you did not expect. God is positioning people who will become part of your next season. What you thought was impossible is already beginning to move toward your life. Do not allow discouragement to poison your expectation. One of the greatest weapons against destiny is hopelessness. When people lose expectation, they stop moving toward possibility. They stop dreaming. They stop believing. They settle for survival instead of expecting transformation. But today, God is awakening expectation inside your spirit again. Not shallow motivation, not empty positive thinking. Real faith, strong faith. Faith that refuses to surrender even during difficult seasons. Some people listening to this message have been asking God why life has felt so heavy lately. The pressure increased. The battles intensified. The emotional weight became stronger. But hear this clearly. Pressure often increases before breakthrough arrives. The enemy fights hardest against people who are closest to transformation. Darkness attacks most aggressively when light is about to appear. Do not mistake resistance for abandonment. The very battle you are fighting may actually be confirmation that something powerful is near. God is preparing you for more than you imagined, but preparation often feels uncomfortable. Before elevation comes stretching, before promotion comes testing, before open doors come hidden seasons where your faith must grow stronger without visible evidence. Many people want sudden success, but they do not understand the private preparation required to sustain it. God is not only trying to bless you, God is building the strength inside you to handle the blessing wisely. There are relationships that had to end because they could not follow you into your next season. There are environments God removed you from because they were draining your spirit. There are closed doors that protected you from future pain you could not yet see. Sometimes rejection is divine protection. Sometimes delay is preparation. Sometimes confusion is temporary positioning before clarity arrives. One day you will look back and realize that what broke your heart also built your strength. The struggle you hated developed wisdom inside you. The waiting season deepened your dependence on God. The disappointments taught you discernment. Nothing was wasted. God used every painful chapter to shape the person you are becoming. You cannot enter a greater future while carrying a defeated mindset. Stop speaking hopelessness over your life. Stop calling yourself forgotten, weak, unlucky, or incapable. Your words carry power. What you repeatedly speak begins shaping your thinking. And what shapes your thinking eventually shapes your future. Speak expectation over your life again. Speak possibility again. Speak faith again. Not because everything is easy, but because God is greater than every obstacle standing before you. There is somebody listening who feels emotionally exhausted from fighting battles nobody understands. You feel like you have carried too much for too long. You feel like life delayed your happiness while others moved ahead easily. But comparison will destroy your peace. Everyone has different timing, different preparation, different assignments, and different battles. Your story is unique. Your destiny is unique. And the divine moment being prepared for you cannot be compared to anyone else's journey. Some blessings arrive slowly, but some blessings arrive suddenly. God can change your situation faster than your mind can comprehend. One unexpected opportunity can shift your financial situation. One divine connection can change your career. One spiritual awakening can restore your inner peace. One answered prayer can erase years of discouragement. Never underestimate what God can do in a single moment. Many people miss divine moments because they become too focused on disappointment. Pain narrows vision. Fear blinds expectation. Bitterness blocks discernment. That is why you must guard your spirit carefully. Refuse to let negative experiences turn your heart cold. Stay open to hope. Stay open to faith. Stay open to possibility. God is still able to surprise you. The surprise coming into your life may not arrive the way you imagined. Sometimes God answers prayers through unexpected paths. Sometimes the breakthrough hides inside uncomfortable transitions. Sometimes the blessing first appears disguised as change. Trust God even when the process does not make immediate sense. God sees what you cannot see. Heaven understands details your human mind cannot fully comprehend. There are people who underestimated you because they only judged your current condition. They looked at your struggles and assumed your story was finished. But they did not know what God placed inside you. They did not know the strength being developed through your battles. They did not know that hidden seasons were building a stronger future for you. Never allow human opinions to define your worth. God can raise a person beyond every limitation others placed on them. God can restore confidence after rejection. God can create opportunities where there were none. God can open doors no person has the power to shut. Your future is not controlled by people who doubted you. Your destiny belongs in the hands of God. Some of you have survived things that should have destroyed you. There were nights when you cried yourself to sleep. Moments when anxiety attacked your mind. Seasons where you felt abandoned, exhausted, and emotionally drained. Yet somehow you continued moving forward. Do you know why? Because God sustained you even when your own strength felt weak. The fact that you survived previous battles is proof that your purpose is still alive. Your assignment is not finished. Your story is not over. God would not have carried you this far only to leave you in defeat now. There is still more ahead of you. There are still doors waiting to open. There are still prayers waiting to be answered. You must stop seeing yourself only through the lens of your current struggle. Your pain is not your identity. Your delay is not your identity. Your failure is not your identity. Difficult seasons may describe what you experienced, but they do not define who you are. God created you with purpose, potential, and strength far beyond what you currently see. There is a divine encounter approaching your life that will awaken something powerful inside you. It will restore confidence where fear once ruled. It will restore clarity where confusion once lived. It will restore peace where anxiety once controlled your thoughts. Some of you have been praying for confirmation, and this message is your confirmation. God is still moving. But hear this carefully. When the opportunity arrives, you must have the courage to step forward. Fear will try to convince you that you are not ready. Fear will remind you of previous failures. Fear will whisper lies about your weakness. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear, because you trust God more than your doubts. Too many people pray for open doors while remaining emotionally attached to closed ones. They ask for new beginnings while refusing to release old pain. But you cannot carry bitterness into your next season. Release resentment. Release anger. Release the need to control every detail. Your future requires emotional freedom. God is calling you higher, not into pride, arrogance, or selfish ambition, but into stronger faith, deeper wisdom, and greater spiritual maturity. Some of the things you lost were never meant to stay permanently in your life. Some people disappeared because they could not go where God is taking you. Some opportunities ended because better opportunities are coming. One day, the confusion will make sense. One day you will understand why certain doors remained closed. One day you will see how delays protected you from wrong paths. But until then, trust God during the process. Trust even when clarity has not fully arrived yet. There are people listening right now who secretly feel forgotten by life. You feel invisible, overlooked, ignored. But God sees what people overlook. Heaven notices hidden faithfulness. God sees the quiet perseverance nobody applauded. Do not measure your value by public recognition. Some of the strongest destinies are built during hidden seasons. The world constantly pressures people to chase external success while neglecting their inner condition. But true strength begins inside. A strong spirit can survive difficult seasons without collapsing. That is why protecting your inner life matters so much. Be careful what voices you allow into your mind. Constant negativity weakens your spirit. Constant fear poisons expectation. Feed your mind with faith, wisdom, gratitude, and hope. The divine moment approaching your life will require discernment. Not every opportunity belongs to your destiny. Not every voice deserves your attention. Ask God for wisdom. Ask God for clarity. Learn to protect your focus. A distracted spirit misses divine direction. You are entering a season where things may begin changing unexpectedly. What remained stuck for years may suddenly begin moving. Doors that seemed permanently closed may suddenly open. Favor may begin finding you in places you least expected. But when it happens, remember that it was not luck. It was not coincidence. It was God honoring the faith you maintained during difficult seasons. Do not become impatient while waiting. Trees with deep roots survive stronger storms. God is building depth inside you. Some blessings require preparation before they arrive because sustaining the blessing matters just as much as receiving it. There are moments when God intentionally isolates people because He wants their attention undivided. Isolation is not always punishment. Sometimes it is preparation. Sometimes God removes distractions so your spirit can hear Him more clearly. Do not fear lonely seasons. Some of the greatest spiritual growth happens in private places. Your greatest breakthrough may arrive after your greatest test. This is why endurance matters. Many people quit too early. They stop believing moments before transformation begins. But not you. You have survived too much to quit now. Too many prayers have already been spoken over your life. Too much preparation has already taken place. The surprise coming into your life will not only change your circumstances, it will also change your perspective. You are about to realize that God can accomplish more in one moment than human effort can achieve in many years. One touch of divine favor can accelerate your destiny beyond natural explanation. Some of you are about to receive opportunities you once thought were impossible. Some of you are about to experience peace after years of emotional struggle. Some of you are about to witness sudden clarity after long confusion. And when it happens, people around you may not understand how quickly your situation changed. But heaven has been working behind the scenes this entire time. Never lose your expectation. Expectation is powerful because it positions your spirit to recognize divine movement. People who expect nothing often miss what God is doing around them. But people filled with faith remain spiritually alert. They recognize opportunities. They recognize divine timing. They recognize when heaven begins opening doors. Do not allow temporary darkness to convince you that morning will never come. Every painful season eventually passes. Every storm eventually loses power. Hold on a little longer. Trust a little deeper. Believe a little stronger. Because what is approaching your life has the power to restore joy where sorrow once lived and strength where weakness once ruled. You were never created merely to survive life in constant fear and limitation. God created you with purpose. God created you with potential. God created you to rise above the battles that tried to break you. Stop thinking small about your future. Stop expecting disappointment as your permanent reality. There is greatness inside you that still has not fully emerged. There are gifts inside you waiting for the right moment. There are opportunities connected to your destiny already moving into position. Stay spiritually awake. Stay faithful. Stay expectant. And hear this deeply within your spirit tonight. The reason you survived every previous battle is because your purpose still matters. Your future still exists. Your breakthrough is still alive. The surprise is still coming. Someone is booking a divine moment with you even now. Heaven is arranging conversations, connections, opportunities, and favor that human effort alone could never create. Suddenly, without warning, the door you thought would never open will begin moving. The answer you waited for will arrive. The peace you searched for will finally settle over your spirit, and the life you almost gave up on will begin transforming before your eyes. So tonight, stop running from the call God has placed on your life. Stop doubting the value of your existence. Stop speaking death over dreams that God is still breathing on. This is the moment to rise from fear, rise from bitterness, rise from spiritual exhaustion, and return fully to the presence of God with all your heart. Do not let distractions steal your destiny. Do not let temporary pain convince you to abandon eternal purpose. Examine your spirit honestly. Ask yourself what has been pulling you away from peace, away from discipline, away from the voice of God. And then make the decision that from this day forward, your heart will belong completely to God again. There comes a point where you must stop waiting for someone else to rescue your faith. You must become serious about your spiritual life. You must guard your mind, guard your heart, guard your atmosphere, and refuse to allow darkness to control your thoughts anymore. The world is filled with noise, confusion, fear, and empty distractions. But people who stay close to God walk with a different strength. They carry peace in chaos. They carry confidence during uncertainty. They carry light even in dark seasons because they know who is leading their steps. Do not waste another year living beneath the level God called you to live. You were not created to remain trapped in fear, addiction, hopelessness, insecurity, or emotional chains. God created you to live with purpose, wisdom, strength, and spiritual clarity. But transformation begins when you surrender fully, not halfway, not only during difficult moments, completely. Let God heal the places you kept hidden. Let God remove the anger, pride, resentment, and unbelief that have weighed down your spirit for too long. Let God rebuild your heart until your life reflects peace instead of confusion. And if you have fallen, rise again. If you have become spiritually cold, return again. If life has wounded your heart, Trust God again. Never believe the lie that you are too broken, too far gone, or too weak to begin again. As long as you still have breath, God can restore purpose inside you. God can renew your spirit. God can awaken strength you thought was gone forever. Stand up with courage. Walk forward with faith. Pray with expectation. Live with integrity. Speak with wisdom. Protect your peace. And never forget that the greatest strength a person can possess is a heart fully connected to God. Human strength fades. Human approval disappears. Earthly success comes and goes. But the person who walks closely with God carries a power this world cannot destroy. May your spirit become stronger than your fear. May your faith become louder than your doubts. May your heart become so anchored in God that no storm can shake your foundation again. And may you walk out of this season with deeper wisdom, greater peace, renewed purpose, and unshakable confidence, knowing that God has never abandoned you, never ignored your prayers, and never stopped working in your life, even during the moments you could not see it.